Welcome back to the Willis Podcast. How is everybody doing? I know you missed me. I missed you too. Um, Got to put out a little early show. Um, the thing is, I wanted to talk about something, and you see the title: How America Lost Its Way, Truth, Power, Propaganda, in the Future. So you got to think, America has an original sin, like how America was built on indigenous land, resources, and sovereignty. So America America's propaganda role played a very heavy role in the world. You have to think who actually took the ideology of the Americas in the 1930s, 40s. What happened with the world wars and the battle within and the battle abroad. So America has never had a chance to even have a true identity because the one that it originally had was ripped from it. The problem is the reassignments of people, the reassignments of places, the reassignments of types of people, the reassignment of people that came from other places that so-called is from one place and they're not. So the original sin was the fact that America never had the ability to be truthful. See, when you got other world leaders that mimics your lead and they kind of start doing what you're doing because they see how it's going to favor them. And if you look at countries that are pale dominated, as you can see globally, those are the ones that came out on top. It's simple math. It's not. This is not hard. The reason why people try to make it hard because they like to maintain a lie either for themselves, a lie for their people, the traditions of their people, the traditions of what they want something to be. But the problem is some of these people that claim to be America don't understand how much and what they lost out on. What they lost out on was a lot. See, the thing is, the lie that built the narrative was manifest destiny. Manifest destiny was some type of this is the discovery and the textbooks erase the truth to justify the theft. But I don't understand why people do not like addressing the real truth. They want to meet where they want to meet. Well, we already know what that's called, cognitive dissonance. I get a lot of flack. I get a lot of pushback. I get a lot of hate, even when I'm showing my true, real ancestry, my everything about myself. And for somehow, some people feel that a lie or a controlled, created, well-crafted narrative is far more important than a real truth. So that let me know I can show you anything. Your ass still won't believe it. Some of you will, some of you won't. That's fine. That's all well and good. People can think how they want to think. That's the beauty of being a human being. The problem is when it conflicts with truth, we have specific issues. Um, Now the system of talking, system of taking, from land, labor to resources, wealth, the extraction became the American business model, meant to give you, so-called, give you little trinkets, little things that you feel significant until those little trinkets that you got, you figure out how much you pay for them. And now we understand and know, like, damn, the world is the whole globe really has to function as a unit, as a cycle, as a system. There are resources that some people have, and there are resources that some people need. So, what do you do when you're still racing, when you're still in a race? Well, you're playing the game, so you're still trying to extract and take so that you don't have to, give or share with others. So if this new human model European is running around the world trying to extract, take, and hoard everything, um, is how those cultures were built. You have to go back to the beginning. You have to go back to how it was constructed. But when you don't want to do that, you only want to pick the point in time when you are the winner, when you are portrayed as the unifier and the civilizer and the the savior. Those are all fabrications. So when you put people in a vulnerable predicament and then say, "Oh, I'm going to save you," well, you're the whole you putting yourself in a position to be the devil and the God. Like you want total, you want to be absolved from all your wrongdoings and say, "Well, no, I saved those people, or I liberated them, or I educated them." Yeah, but under what system? Yours. But the system is only favorable for you. America, you made too many mistakes to act like you didn't. That's the sad part about it. You know, the exporting the model. So when you're exporting the model, that means people taking on your ideology. Argentina did it. The Germans did it. Even right here in America, Henry Ford couldn't stand a certain group of people unless they had something to offer him. I mean, you think about the distortions and the lies and fables of even people not being a certain complexion, but yet and still given a certain complexion. The cost to the world, destabilizing nations, stolen resources, and a global order built on inequality and control. That's America for you. So another issue that you got to find out, finding a way back, truth, reparations, respect, and building a future rooted in justice and dominance. See, that's the problem, dominance, trying to dominate instead of play a part. A lot of people are a lot of governments these days, they're interested in this autocratic style of government, because when you get exposed, you don't feel like you don't have to tell any lies anymore. You don't feel like you're just gonna do what you're gonna do. But that time's gonna run out. See, the problem is that can't be sustained in all actuality. It just can't. That whole model can't be sustained at all. Because when people know the truth, they're gonna, or when they wake up to the truth, they're gonna always figure out a way to get you back, not the way you think. See, can a nation remain strong if it refuses to be honest and examine how it gained its power? Did America lose moral compass, or did it ever have one? See, I would say there are certain people in America that had a moral compass that made America look like it has a moral compass. America never had a moral compass. It only did what it was forced to do, what we forced the system to do, due to the perception that it wants the rest of the world to see. So every nation has founding stories, but every nation also has difficult chapters. So what happens when economic success becomes more important than its principles? That's the situation we're in right now. Well, before we got in this situation, we have always, for the past like 30 or 40 years, you got to think how economic success was more important than its principles. Because if it wasn't if it wasn't 30 or 40 years ago, in the 80s we got Reagan, we got the crack epidemic, we got all of these different perspectives about blacks being criminals and being from somewhere else they're not, and they created all these propaganda campaigns surrounded around black Americans or indigenous Americans. And you had other people that came from other places extracting our place, putting us in a place as far as being a just basically um, just an undesirable wandering African that just somehow fell into the Americas. Oh, and then they talk about the transatlantic misconception slave trade. Um, you really need to put more thought into how you tell these stories. And the sad part about it is this: the one thing that's very despicable about it all is you have every single nation or race of people, so-called created construct race of people, they go against each other. You got blacks going against blacks, whites going against white, Hispanics going against Hispanics. And what is this all about? This is all about what is truth and what is just and what is a fabrication and who wants to maintain the lie. You got Asians in there too. Let's throw Asians in there as well. You got Asians that They don't really get down with injustice. And to be truthful, about 50, about 50 years ago, 50, 60 years ago, 60, 70 years ago, um, let me find that book. When the first Asians that were allowed to come here, even the Japanese and Chinese, a lot of them did live in the black communities earlier, um, or in the yeah, the black communities. They did move to the black communities, but there was a lot of solidarity in those earlier times. Um, there were blacks and Asians standing hand in hand due to what was the injustices that was happening to black people globally. But the reason why blacks in America made so much noise is because we had the platform too. America had the technology, and we had to tell our story. We had to let the world know. The United Nations knew, but they never did anything about it. Do you know how long reparations has been addressed and been sent to the UN? I mean, this is every decade. And white America or America period just couldn't find it, and it's hard to find any restitution for what they've taken, stolen, and how they have treated black people for the whole world to see. But they kind of hid it until it couldn't be hidden no more. Okay. And a lot of the stories that were told, the rest of the world kind of stayed silent because why would it would benefit them to, send their undesirables to America, or to have a treaty with America, or to make deals with America, or how you have all these different organizations that were set up to send the propagated message to the world. That's kind of how that worked. I will go into more detail, but it's not going to be a long show. I'm trying to get to a point here. I want you to hear and realize what I'm saying, and so that you can really open up your mind and figure out what you can do to make an individual change for yourself, because that's what's necessary. So can a country built on ideas survive those ideas if they're applied inconsistently? Well, apparently not. You see how inconsistent everything is, and then you have apparatuses and organizations in the United States that are fighting to dismantle actual people and nations of people. And we know who that nation of people is. The people that don't want us to ever have a leg up. That's Black Americans. So is honesty about history a weakness or the foundation of future strength? See, the foundation about history, you got whites was saying, we don't want our kids to learn anything about what our forefathers did in this country because it was horrible, and we don't want them to feel bad about themselves. Well, they won't feel bad about themselves if they know the truth. Ain't nothing wrong with knowing the truth, because the reason why the truth should be told is these things can't be repeated again, or they can't. But look what's starting to happen. See, when you deny the truth and you try to sweep things under the rug, the thing is, everything bubbles to the surface. It all has to come to the top then, because you're just blatantly, you're dishonest and you're lying. So but the thing is business of greed. The thing is, this is the second segment I want to talk about, the business of greed. How corporate influence has shaped political, labor, housing, welfare, healthcare, and media. Yeah. See, people are now just capitulating to have a job, keep a job, and don't want to be in a situation. I don't either. To be honest, nobody does. But come on, when are you going to start being honest and stop being so damn dishonest? When profit becomes the highest priority, communities often bear the cost. That's what's happening now. That's why he threw chairs and started putting tariffs and everything, starting just ridiculous type of WARs, simply because he don't want to address the problems that he has domestically. That's the president, by the way. The whole Republican Party and the presidency, they don't want to address the fundamental problems that we have here that are causing a major crisis, quote unquote Epstein files. Yeah, that's causing a big ass problem for them. And it should, because those people should be placed appropriately where they're supposed to go, So let's discuss whether wealth concentration or whether economic systems should balance profit with public well-being. I think so. I think that's I think you like it's one thing when I was in the Marine Corps, right? You have to have mission accomplishment and true welfare. Some people wanted to put mission accomplishment above everything, which is you're in a situation to accomplish the mission, but at the end of the day, what if your people aren't taken care of? What if the welfare isn't good? What are you gonna do then? Then you have nobody to accomplish the mission because you did not take care of your troops. So, in my opinion, mission accomplishment, troop welfare go hand in hand. Let's explore whether short-term financial gains have outweighed long-term investment in education, infrastructure, and local community. You're damn right it has, because short terms is like a quick win. It has no vision applied to it. It has nothing that actually make you think this is what's good for all, so that we can all benefit. No, they say this is what's good for me or mine. Big ass difference. Big difference. So fear, division, and propaganda. That's another problem. Throughout history, government and media, many countries have used propaganda to shape public opinion, as we were discussing before. Also, fear can be politically useful because dividing people are often easier than mobilizing or persuading them. So you can't persuade a person that has their own mind. You can't persuade them. You gotta go through some real tactics. You got to do some real mind fucking to get a person to believe in you when you lying to them and when they got their own mind and they know that you're full of shit. So anyway, um, so there's another question. Political messages sometimes emphasize conflict over cooperation. Sometimes they want people to fight. They want people in conflict with each other. Why? Because as soon as you're not paying attention to what I want, your eye is off the ball, and I can get in and take what I want to take after that. Because you're not focused on me, you're focusing on trying to take the other person out. So that gives that third man or that third person, they can take advantage of the whole situation, you as well as your opposition. Because the friend of your friend can also be your enemy, or your enemy of your friend. Your enemy of your enemy can also be your friend. There are multiple ways to look at that situation, and people find different ways to make certain situations valid. Because it's not because they want to stop uh, conflict or oppression. No, it's because they want to figure out another way to keep it going. They benefit that way. So you also got to think about how social media algorithms amplify outrage and reinforce existing beliefs. So beliefs. Let's talk about what a belief is, though. Belief is a gift of a lie. It has no intentions on being truthful. It has intentions on causing confusion, because beliefs are very strong. But belief and knowing are not the same thing. They're not. Please associate belief with knowing. You should know what you know, and what you believe. Question, because it's simply a belief. Don't put so much stock into it. Only know what you know and what you believe. You should believe in yourself. Um, just to be honest with you. Um, so let's get to this. Can racism be used as a political tool? Of course it can. Racism has been part of American history and has led lasting effects on institutions and communities. Institutions and communities. And we know this. So let's talk about how political campaign, media narratives, and culture debates sometimes emphasize racial division. Look at what's going on in Texas and James Tallarico and Jasmine Crockett. James Tallarico says, "Nah, I'm not going to publicly shame. I'm not getting into none of that." He says, "I want to win." So, but a lot of people would be mad at James Tallarico because he's doing his best not to make political theater. I think that's pretty respectful. But see, just because he's a white guy, they say, you no. I'm not a Democratic shield. I'm not a Republican at all. I'm pretty independent as hell. Do I vote Democrat? Yeah, most of the time. Yeah, but that doesn't mean they control anything or they run anything. I like to expose them because at the end of the day, what are you getting when you vote? Are they really, do they really got the stabilization and the mindset to really help everyone? Or are they just as they always say, lesser of two evils, and you want to get them back, or they're going to hold the Republicans. Yeah, they should. I mean, anybody that's doing wrong, I think some of them should be held accountable. They're all Everybody that's done dirt should pay for it. That's how I feel about what's going on today. So if you think about a few things, conflict over identity distractions from a broader issues like wages, healthcare, education, and housing. But now that the dominant society is feeling the effects of its choices, now we get the now damn hindsight is 2020. Oh, we should have did this. Oh my God, we should. Oh yeah, but what would your ass doing before? Do research on all of your on all of your Congress people. Um, get into who they were, how they got to where they wanted to be, and where they come from, who sponsored them, who's paying them, who's their favorite lobbyist. Okay, who benefits when ordinary people spend more time fighting one another than solving shared problems? See, you ain't got no power if you can just keep on fighting your neighbor, whether your neighbor's black, white, Latino, Hispanic, somewhere, a foreigner. You ain't gonna get nowhere. And for you foreigners, I mean, hey, you got to get in where you fit in. And if you don't belong here, I advise you do what you need to do for yourself. Because many countries are reassessing their economic and political relationships. A lot of them are, which is rightfully so. New global powers and regional alliances are reshaping international influences. America, if we don't get in there and do something right, we're going to be left out. We're already getting pushed out because of who our president is. And America's future influence may only depend on military, economic strength, or just trust, innovation, and diplomacy. These are hard pills to swallow. Discuss whether look at this. We can discuss whether the world is moving forward from a more multipolar system. It is. It very much so is. The world is becoming much more broader, open, and a lot more opportunities are becoming more vast for all of us. And can America reinvent itself? Of course it can, but it has to take advice from its originals. That's all. You got to take advice. You can't be in a position where you have screwed the political landscape. You've destroyed economics, relationships with people, um, um, especially when it comes to sociological efforts in people communicating and dealing with each other from a respectful place, not a place of dominance. See, sometimes you got to have a relationship with someone without dominating them. That's going to be a big, powerful one right there. That's going to be real big. History shows societies can change when they control different truths, when they confront different truths, control and confront different truths. Renewal often begins with education, civic participation, accountability, and community investment. See, that's what we need, and that's what I appreciate when I hear that word coming from any politician. Accountability, holding someone accountable, and also when it comes to community investment. But ask what lessons can we carry forward, and what should we leave behind? One should be left behind: inequality, uh, um, um, discrimination, racism, destruction, manipulation, all things that rob people from their inalienable rights to be the best human being they could possibly be on this planet. And it goes for all human beings. Let's be clear. So let's be honest, because I'm about to close the show down. I got other things to do. Just want to give you a little bit of my time this morning. Every generation inherits a nation, but every generation also has the opportunity to reshape it. The real question isn't whether America has made its mistakes, which we know it has. The question is whether we have the courage to learn from them, correct them where we can, and build a future that reflects the value we want to leave behind. History is always being written. Its next chapter depends on what we choose to do today. What do you choose to do today? How will you reflect change? How will you make things happen for you and yours, but also what's going to make you a better version of yourself so that you can see that what benefits you just may benefit a person that doesn't look like you or may look like you, but is it just? Is it a just situation? Is it a just way of thinking? Is it a just way of being? Think about it. Anyway, that's the show today. I appreciate you looking in. I'll be checking back in later. This is Will, this podcast. And always understand and know this. The will is yours. Be cool, be easy, be peaceful. I'll be checking back in later, but I got work to do. I'll holler at y'all and be easy. Peace.